Hi gents and ladies, has been some time, but I thought I should do another shave video. Basically I haven't shaved for a good 5 days actually, so stubble growth is quite thick there, you can see. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to have basically go through how I ideally shave when I'm using a DE, so that's making a really good lather and using an absolutely top quality razor. So on that note, the razor that I'll be using is the Wolfman open comb. This is set at 0.74mm blade gap, so slightly more aggressive than the standard, and I've actually paired it with the above the tie bamboo handle, which I very much like, especially with the Wolfman being a slightly more aggressive head. I like to tame it down by using a slightly less heavy handle. It's just a personal preference. I'll be using the version 1 of Barrister & Mann's Beaudelaire soap and just so that I do get the best lather possible, I'm going to be using one of my favourite brushes, which is a Shavemac custom brush. I've just got it pre-soaking here, draining out the water. It's in a jade anchor style handle. Can just focus in on that for you there. And this was part of a limited edition run on the shaving room, and it was during Christmas time. So as I organised it, I have number 1, and my entire collection you can see on www.againstthegrain.uk.com. Absolutely lovely brush, 2-band silver tip. As you can see, this has been pre-soaking and it clumps absolutely beautifully, almost a honeycomb structure, very much a gel tip brush. I believe this to be a 2652, so that's 26 width, 52 loft with regards to the knot. And yeah, so what I'm going to do, I've had my soap blooming. I'm just going to tip out the bloom water into my pre-soak lather or pre-soak brush water, and I'm going to begin by just softly coating the tips with the soap. As I've always said before, what I look to do when I'm loading the brush is to completely saturate the top band, that being the white band, so that there is enough soap to face lather and, well, enough for at least 3 passes. I tend to do 2 myself, especially with an efficient razor like the Wolfman. As you know, the Wolfman, in terms of its production, is fairly limited. Few people get to own one. I actually bought mine second hand off a very nice member. And yeah, the finish is exceptional. The shave is outstanding. I find the razor to be slightly more fussy compared to other razors. Just show you how I've very quickly got enough soap there. It's already pretty much saturated the top part. I've got a little bit of the band showing, so I'm just going to load that up a little bit more. Incidentally, this is a hard soap, bordering on a crepe, but very much more a hard soap. Got the glasses on today, so I've just come out of the shower. It's Friday, looking to relax before going to work tomorrow. So I'm just going to continue to load the brush for another 10 seconds. It's very, very quick to load Barrister & Mann soaps, as well as creating a very nice, thick, lush lather on the face. So that's how much I've loaded my brush. Plenty of soap in there. In fact, the tips are almost coagulated with the collection of soap. On top of this brush, I'm going to put 2 5mm teaspoons of water, just to lubricate. I'm also going to take the pre-soaked water off the brush mixed with the bloom water of the soap, and I'm just going to add that to my face now. So there is already some slickness from the bloom water, and I just want to make sure I've got enough water on my face as well as on the brush so that the lather is lovely and slick. I absolutely adore this handle shape. It's very ergonomic. As you can see, I hold it fingers all around, almost the palm touching the base of the brush, and very light circular motions after brushing the soap across my face. So once brushed, I now go into light circular motions. I don't mash the brush, don't want to cause any damage or to push the lather to the base of the brush. I want it all to be generated at the tips. And I'm really going to concentrate on my lather today. I definitely want protection against this razor, as it is a fairly aggressive razor, a very efficient razor. But I also want a good degree of slickness, as I am effectively getting rid of 5 days worth of stubble, so a fair amount for it to deal with. So as you can see, it's just starting now to really thicken up. I like to build in the bottom corners of my face and then paint it up. I find the stubble on my neck to be, well, on my neck and just under my chin, to be the most stubborn of stubble to get rid of. So by hopefully working my neck area longer, I'm causing the hairs to stand up and also for the lather to penetrate to the base of the hairs. As you can see, this lather is really slick, really nice and thick. You probably can't see that it's slick, but you can definitely see the thickness, which will aid with the cushion. There we go. And this brush is absolutely phenomenal. It's literally a gel tip brush. It feels as though I am rubbing a padded velvet sponge, almost like material, across my face. You don't get the individual hair feel as you would with the Unique Knot or the DO ones. It's not that dense, but what you do get is one of the softest feels of brushes that I've come across. It's literally silky smooth. Now you can see how much lather I have already created on my face. There's a ton of lather there. All well coated. Usually at this stage I would stop, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue. You can see the brush. It's got that ice cream consistency to it. Thick double cream ice cream consistency. So adding a little bit more water, I'd say another 5 ml spoonful. And I'm just going to paint. Beautiful. The soap has a very earthy scent to it. Slight spice. I would say you're looking at a mixture of sandalwood and vetiver, perhaps a slight hint of patchouli in the base. Then there's a vein of aniseed, very mild, and a certain almost cherry tobacco scent to it. Not as sweet as the likes of Tiki the Captain, Tiki soaps. That's a very, very sweet cherry tobacco. This is more of a natural tone with the vetiver, patchouli, sandalwood, cedarwood. Beautiful. So that's a great lather. That's a really thick lather I've got going on there. I'm going to now just show you what's left on the brush. So I see tons of lather there for my second pass. I'm going to clear out my sideburn area. Just like that. Dry my hands real quick. And proceed with my first pass with the grain. Again, very light pressure, if any at all, with the Wolfman. The Wolfman has more of a tinny sound in terms of its feedback. When I compare this to the Timeless, which has more of a deeper grunt with regards to its cutting sound, this is much more tinny. Well, I mean, just look at the efficiency. The teeth of the open comb are exceptionally smooth. No irritation from the teeth whatsoever. And it's dealing with 5 days growth as if it was a daily driver. The difference between this and the R2 simply comes down to the feel of the teeth on the face. I would probably also put down that the efficiency of this is better than that of the R2. It really is a comfortable razor to use. My current top 3 razors do include the Wolfman open comb at, like I say, the more aggressive setting of 0.74, alongside the Timeless OC at 0.95 and the Blackbird straight bar. I'm hoping to get hold of the Blackbird open comb when that does become available for release, as my preference of razors is with the open comb option. So that's my first pass complete. I'm just going to go and wipe the lather off my face. When in front of the camera, I'm not actually at my sink. I would generally wash the lather off my face. So the soaps that I tend to use when filming are a lot kinder to the skin, or some of them are at least, than what I would use when at the sink. I would use perhaps something that's more perfumed, or one that I wouldn't feel would suit if I was just wiping lather off my face. Sometimes they can be itchy or cause a bit of redness. These soaps are all exceptional. So just lathering up for my second pass. I think it's pretty much removed most of the stubble in the first pass. Again, a difference I find with this razor as opposed to the Timeless is with the grain pass, which is generally north to south, the first pass removes a hell of a lot of stubble. With the Timeless, it's more the second pass where I remove more stubble. So again, I'm just going to paint the lather on. I'm going to add another 5 mils of water to the brush, and I'm going to again paint the lather on. When I'm painting the lather, if I find that there's little coming out, I tend to almost flick or have a slight slapping motion on the face. This just draws the lather to the tips and allows it to be displaced thicker on the face. So now I'm going to build up on the bottom of my neck again. Feels absolutely gorgeous. Just coat that area. Now, like I said, this is my ideal shave, and with my ideal shaves, my second pass with regards to the lather on the face doesn't have to be super thick. It has to be super slick, but in order for me to get a closer contact, I have a very slightly thinner lather. Again, this is only when I'm going for BBS or a super close shave, so that's going to be fine for me right now. I'm just going to clear my sideburns and wash my hands. Just dry them as well. Okay, and this is across the grain now. Good feedback. An excellent blade feel. It feels like a straight bar, but that's credit to the open comb teeth, because these teeth are just, they're so smooth against the skin. Go to the other side. We'll use a camera to shave. And again, just under the nose, I tend to go north to south, apart from the corners. With this second pass, I'm using even less pressure. I wasn't using much at all in the first, but With this one I'm using literally nothing, so I'm going south to north on the neck, or against the grain if you like. There's hardly anything to remove after the first pass, to be honest with you. Again, great feedback. I really don't have much else to say. I prefer thinner handles, as you probably have found from my videos, short and thin. I like the head to do most of the work and the razor to be well balanced. That's all my preference is. So that's it. Again, I'm just going to wash off. Or dry off. Or even wipe off. Okay. So that's 2 passes with the Wolfman open comb. At the slightly more aggressive setting of 0.74mm blade gap. Very smooth, an excellent shave. That's 5 days stubble. I'm going to do one more pass just because I'm enjoying it. I'm going to use even less lather this time, just to give you an idea of how much residual lather I have in the brush. If I squeeze it out, you're looking at least another 2 passes in there. There's still leather in the brush. If I apply this to the face, I'm not going to do my cheek, so I'll just put it on the cheek area. It's so thick, loads of lather left in that brush. Probably enough for another 2-3 passes. Even on the hands there's absolutely loads of lather. This lather is super slick, very well cushioned, peaks beautifully. Great stuff. Right, let's just wipe my hands. And I just want to concentrate on my neck, so I'm just going to go with the grain again on my neck. Perfect. So excuse me whilst I just dry off again.